guys, welcome to my 31-week bump date. This week the baby is as big as asparagus. I don't know, these vegetables and fruits are really weird. Not only that, but the baby is weighing around 3.3 pounds, so getting bigger. What's really exciting is that all of Juniper's 5 senses are fully functioning. This week I have way more energy than I did the previous week, which is great because I was really hoping I wasn't going to have to deal with fatigue for the whole 3rd trimester. And I think it has a lot to do with being in this nesting phase because I definitely have this feeling of pressure and anxiety and just like this need to get everything organized and ready. So not just with the nursery, not just with everything for to prepare for Juniper's arrival, but also just for like our entire apartment, which you know can be a little tricky since we just recently moved. So this past week, Corbin and I went pretty hardcore on the nursery setup. We bought everything we needed. I think there's like one thing we haven't bought yet because we're waiting for another thing to see how it goes together. But we have basically everything we need and it's set up about 75%. We're just waiting on a few more things that are being shipped in and we're gonna set those up and then we're gonna do a nursery reveal. I'm so excited, we love it. I'm so in love with it right now. It really looks done. Like it looks like a nursery already, but there's just a few more things we're waiting on. But besides that, I've also been reorganizing some cupboards and just trying to make sure everything is put together in a way that makes sense and that is organized and that just will work for us because I just know I want it to be as put together as possible before she arrives so we don't have to deal with it when she's here and we can just enjoy spending time with her. Even though I have had more energy this week, I have been dealing with other not so fun 3rd trimester symptoms. First of all, I feel like my belly is growing so quickly these days and that means that my stomach is starting to feel a bit stretched. So I don't have any actual stretch marks that I can see from this pregnancy yet, but I can definitely feel like the stretching now, especially close to like right around my belly button. Feels like really tight sometimes. And there was like a couple times where I felt like, oh my goodness, like my stomach is like gonna split open. It just feels so stretched and so tight and it's gotten a lot better, but there's a few days where I was like, oh my goodness, like putting on so much lotion just because I felt like, oh, this is gonna rip apart. So that hasn't been that fun. It is also exciting because that means my stomach is finally growing, which I felt like for such a long time it really wasn't getting very big. So it is fun to finally feel like, yeah, I definitely have a pregnant belly now. Another symptom is really tight hips. And I've always had a lot of tension in my hips. It's just something I've always had, tension in my hips and lower back. But it's getting to the point now where I have to stretch. I stretch them as best as I can before I go to sleep. And then even still, sometimes they get so tight that they wake me up in the middle of the night. And I'm just so uncomfortable with the tightness that I can't go back to sleep. So there's just like so much tension in there. And I don't know why it seems to tighten up more when I'm sleeping because you would think they would relax, but they seem to tighten up more when I'm sleeping. So that can definitely not be helpful when I'm trying to get a good night's rest. Finally, I am definitely experiencing a lot more of the Braxton Hicks contractions, which I used to be really scared about because it felt like, oh my goodness, like this is happening, like is this normal? But after having more conversations with my midwife, I honestly feel excited about it because it makes me feel like my body's getting stronger and preparing for this upcoming birthing experience that will be happening soon. And I just feel like it's just preparing itself and it's healthy and it's normal and it's not like they're painful, but sometimes they're pretty strong. I'm like, wow, it's pretty powerful in there. For this upcoming week, we are going to be meeting with our pediatric care provider or a potential one. Corbin and I put a list of questions that we found online and kind of added to and deleted questions we thought were irrelevant, and we're gonna have those questions prepared for our consultation. And really, we just want to make sure that it's going to be a good fit for us and also in a location that we feel would be convenient enough because you have to go so many times during the first year. And we just want to have a really good relationship with our pediatric care doctor and also family doctor because she would be both. She's actually a naturopathic doctor. So I will let you know next week how that went. I will now show you my growing belly. Alright you guys, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to leave comments down below if you have any suggestions on how you dealt with any hip tension or lower back tension, and just like some exercises or stretches. I mean, I'm trying to do the stretches I know of, but if you have any more suggestions, I always appreciate it. And also, if you have any key questions that we can ask our naturopathic doctor or potential naturopathic pediatric care provider, that's a lot to say. Make sure you leave those down below as well. See where your feet are. Bye!